The scene: Rome, ruler of the ancient world, 44 BC. The aristocratic Republican Party feared that the great soldier statesman Julius Caesar means to set himself up as the dictator with the title of king. They form a conspiracy against him with Brutus and Caesius as leaders, and on the 15th March in the Senate House at the foot of Pompey's statue, Caesar is slain.
Caesar is murdered! Caesar is murdered! What? Here comes the Brutus.
Enter Brutus.
We will be satisfied. Let us be satisfied.
Then follow me and give me audience.
I will hear the Brutus speak.
Brutus goes into the pulpit.
The noble Brutus ascended. Silence.
Be patient till the last. Romans, countrymen and lovers, hear me for my cause, and be silent that you may hear. Believe me for my honor, and have respect to my honor, that you may believe. Ensure me in your wisdom, and awake your senses, that you may be the better judge. If there be any dear friend of Caesar's, to him I say that Brutus' love to Caesar was no less than his. If then that friend demand why Brutus rose against Caesar, this is my answer: not that I loved Caesar less, but I loved Rome more. Had you rather Caesar were living and die all slaves, than that Caesar were dead? To live all free men. As Caesar loved me, I weep for him. As he was fortunate, I rejoice at it. As he was violent, I honor him. But as he was ambitious, I slew him. There is tears of his love, joy for his fortune, honor for his valor, death for his ambition. Who is here so base that would be a bondman? If any speak for him, have I offended? Who is here so rude that would be a Roman? If any speak for him, have I offended? Who is here so will that will not love his country? If any speak for him, have I offended? I pause for a reply.
None, Brutus, none.
Then none have I offended. I have done no more to Caesar that you shall do to Brutus. The question of his death is enrolled in the Capitol. His glory not extenuated, wherein he was worthy, nor his offences enforced, for which he suffered. Here comes the body mourned by Mark Antony, who, though he had no hand in his death, shall receive the benefit of his dying, a place in the commonwealth, as which of you shall not. With this I depart, that as I slew my best lover for the good of Rome, I have the same dagger for myself, when it shall please my country to need my death.
Live, Brutus! Live!
Bring him with trump home unto his house.
Give him a statue with his ancestors. Let him be Caesar.
Caesar's better parts shall be crowned in Brutus.
Well, bring him to his house with shouts and clamors.
My countrymen,
Peace! Silence! Brutus speaks.
Peace ho!
good countrymen, let me depart alone, and for my sake, stay here with Antony. Do grace to see this corpse, and grace a speech, tending to Caesar's glories, which Mark Antony, by your permission, not a man depart, save I alone, till Antony has spoke. Stay ho, let us hear Mark Antony.
Let him go in the public chair. We will hear him. Mark Antony, go.
For Brutus' sake, I am beholding to you.
Goes into the pulpit.
What does he say of Brutus?
He says for Brutus' sake, he finds himself beholden to us all.
To our best he. Speak no harm of Brutus here.
This Caesar was a tyrant.
Nay, that's certain. We are blessed that Rome is rid of him.
Peace. Let us hear what Antony can say. You gentle Romans. Peace. Ho. Let us hear.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that make do live after them, the good is oft interred with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault. And grievous hateful Caesar answered it. Here under leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honorable man, so are they all honorable men, come to speak Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. He hath bought many captive home in Rome, who ransom did the general coffers him. Did this in Caesar seems ambitious? When the poor have cried, Caesar hath wept. Ambition should be made of stammer stuff, but yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that on the Lupercal I thrice presented a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambitious? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and surely he is an honorable man. I speak not to disapprove, but Brutus spoke. But here I am to speak what I do now. You all love him once, not without cause. What cause withhold you then to mourn for him? O judgment, thou art fed to brutish breast, and men have lost their reasons. Bear with me, my heart is in the coffin, there with Caesar, and I must pause till it come back to.
Methinks there is much reason in his sayings.
If thou consider rightly of the matter, Caesar has had great wrong.
He has fears. I fear that there will a worse come in his place.
Mark ye his words, he would not take the crown.
If it be found so, some will dare avoid it.
Poor soul, his eyes are red as dripping.
There's no nobler man in Rome than Antony.
But yesterday the word of Caesar might have stood against the world. Now lies he there, and none so poor to do him reverence. O master, if I were disposed to stir your hearts and minds to mutiny and rage, I should do Brutus wrong and Cassius wrong, who you all know are honorable men. I will not do them wrong. I rather choose to wrong the death, to wrong myself and you, than I will wrong such honorable men. But here a parchment of seal of Caesar, I found it in his closet. This his will. Let but the commons hear these statements, which pardon me, I do not mean to read, and they would go and kiss dead Caesar's wood, and dip their napkins in his scared bird, yea, beg a hair of him for memory, and dying mention it within their wills, bequeath it as a rich legacy unto their issue.
We will hear the will, Mark Antony. The will! The will! The will! We will hear Caesar's will!
Have patience, gentle friends. I must not read it. It is not meet. You know how Caesar loved you. You are not wood, you are not stone, but men. And being men, hearing the will of Caesar, it will inflame you. It will make you mad. This good you know, not that you are his heir. For if you should, oh, what would come to it?
Read the will, Mark Antony, read it. We will hear it.
Will you be patient? Will you stay a while? I fear I wrong the honorable men, whose dagger have stabbed the Caesar. I do fear it.
They were traitors, honorable men.
The will, the testament. They were villains, murderers. The will, read the will.
You will compel me then to read the will. Then make a ring about the cross of Caesar, and let me show you him that the made the will. Shall I descend, and will you give me leave?
Come down,
come down.
Descend.
You may have leave.
Antony comes down.
A ring stand round.
To set them now. You all know this method. I remember the first time ever Caesar put it on. I was on a summer evening in this tent. That day he overcome the nervy. Look, in this place ran Caesar's dagger through. See what rent the envious Caesar casca me. Through this will of the Brutus stabbed, and he plucked his cursed steel away. Mark how the blood of Caesar followed it. If Brutus so kindly knocked or no, for Brutus, as you know, was Caesar's angle. Thus, oh you gods, how dearly loved him. The most unkind cut of all. For when the noble Caesar saw him stab. Ingratitude, more strong than traitor's arm, quite vanished him, then was his mighty heart. And in this this was the most unkind cut of all. For when the noble Caesar saw him stab, ingratitude, more strong than traitor's arm, quite vanished him, and then burst his mighty heart. And in this mantle, muffling of his face, even at the base of Pompey's statue, which all the while ran blood, great Caesar fell. Oh, what a fall was there, my countrymen! Then I and you and all of us fell down, whilst bloody treason flourished over us. And now we meet, and I perceive you fell. The dint of pity, these are gracious drops, kind souls. What we when we weep we when you but behold, our Caesar's vesture wounded. Look up here. Here is himself.
Spectacle. Oh, noble Caesar.
Oh, woeful day.
Oh, traitor.
Oh, a bloody sight.
We will be revenged. Revenge. About.
Seek,
Burn.
Fire.
Kill.
slay,
Let not the traitor.
Revenge.
Calm down.
Hear the noble Antony.
We will hear him. We will follow him. We will die with him.
Friends, let me not stir you up to such a sudden flood of mutiny. That they have done this deed are honorable. What private griefs they have, alas, I know not, that made him do it. They are wise and honorable, and will no doubt reasons answer you. I come not, friends, to steal away your hearts. I am not an orator, as Brutus is, but as you know me all, a plain blunt man. They love my friend, and that they know full well that give me public leave to speak of him. And I have either wit, nor words, action, nor utterance, nor the power of speech. To stir man's blood, I know only speak right on. I tell you that which you yourself do now, so you sweet Caesar's wounds, poor dumb mouths, and bite them speak me for me. But where I Brutus, and Brutus Antony, there was an Antony, would ruffle up your spirits and put a tongue in every wound of Caesar, and should move the stones of Rome to rise and mutiny.
We all mutiny. We will burn the house of Brutus.
we will seek the conspirators.
Yeah, hear me, countrymen. Yeah, hear me speak.
Peace, ho!
Peace, ho!
Peace, ho! Here Antony, most noble Antony.
Why, friends, you go to do you know what, not what? Wherein had Caesar thus deserved your loss? Alas, you know not. I must tell you then. You have forget the will I told you of. Almost true. The will. Let's stay here and hear the will. Here is the will, and under Caesar's seal, to every Roman citizen he gives, to every civil man 75 drachmas.
Most noble Caesar, we will revenge his death.
Hear me with patience.
Peace, ho! Peace, ho!
Moreover, he had left you all his works, his private arbors and new planted orchards. On the side river, he has left them you. There's forever common places to walk about and recreate yourself. Here was a Caesar, when it comes such another.
Never, never come away. We will burn his body in the holy place, and with the brands fire the trailer houses, take up the body.
Go, fetch fire.
Pluck down the benches.
Plug down forms, windows, anything.
Exeunt.
Now let it what? Mischief, thou art a fool. Take thou what course this will.
Excellent.